and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wildcard round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Panthers going up against the Seahawks. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
Okay, Larry, we are just south of historic Pioneer Square at CenturyLink Field in the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
First carry for Matt Forte. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe to be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On first down, this is Forte. And, the ball's out. Definitely a Panther was able to get on this. So Carolina.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. On base and scoring position up.
And avoids the turnover. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. Second down here. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Looking deep downfield. It's caught at the 10. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play that time. Newton to Benjamin. 41 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, first and goal. Only a yard on the pickup there, second and goal. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
On second down, here's Newton. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Michael Bennett is one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You've got a problem.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen from 8 yards out. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Just how they wanted to start this one, in the end zone on their first possession.
And that just happened. How about that play right there? As you said, opening possession, setting the tone for everything. And I'm going to look forward a little bit now because everyone should be celebrating his catch in the end zone. The tight end gets a little bit of love. But if you're a receiver on the team, you should be thinking to yourself, boy, oh boy, things are going to open up the rest of the game if they have to focus on him as well.
So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Gano now line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Hey. 4 down.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. K1 short in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. Back deep for the Panthers, Ted Ginn.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side. I missed that. Totally missed it.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 14 there. And the Panthers are going to get a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And down inside the 15 he goes. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, yeah.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
He hits Baldwin right side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Now a give. This is Murray trying to run inside, but nothing there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Wilson, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Ginn. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Newton. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. On 4th down, the Panthers hand things over to the veteran Andy Lee to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. So 1 quarter in the books here the opening weekend of the NFC playoffs. 14-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Murray, and he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. The grab made by Curse over the middle.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. C.J. Procise, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And that one makes it 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Get out to send this one away following the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts the defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. On second down, Forte. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
What a tremendous play by the defensive line. Instead of getting too far upfield against the draw, able to hold their spot and make a big play in the backfield.
Third and long, it's Newton. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Again they run. Again it's Forte. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play. But it didn't gain him any yardage.
Newton on third down. Sets up the screen to Forte. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
A well-executed screen pass means the offensive line has bluffed the defenders. They make them think that they can just get through and get to the quarterback. Instead, they're setting them up. Little screen pass, lofted over them, and now they're in front, and they get downfield for big yardage when they do it right.
Running it here, Artis Payne. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Cameron Artis Payne taking it in. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is that
they've got his man complete. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Fresh set of downs here.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end.
A toss to Murray. And some room to roam now. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Latavius Murray, 33 yards. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Hauschka now for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, yeah, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. On first down, it's Newton. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it'll be first down, Panthers. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately, They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw on second down is Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. On 1st and 10, Newton. It's brought in by Janis. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Again, Newton. It's brought in right side by Ginn. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, here's Newton. Benjamin's got it, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On it's the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 36 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard matchup as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA halftime report. The Seahawks are behind right now and certainly will need to tweak some things. The Panthers will be tough to stop, though, as they're in a groove after last week's win. All right, let's do it. Here's a look at the first half highlights. Panthers taking control early in the first. Quick pass and completion to Benjamin. And the pass and catch will end up going for 41 yards. Panthers have it later on the drive. Olsen's got the reception. And after the short pass, he'll score. The Panthers now on top. Panthers have it at the 2. Newton's looking for room to run, and he ends up rushing in for a second touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. They'll line up right at the 22-yard line. Prosai's got the catch coming across the middle. And this will go all the way for a touchdown. The Seahawks down by a touchdown. 3rd and long. Broken coverage here on the deep pass. And it's going to end up going for a gain of 37. Same drive. He'll cut it off the left side this time. And he'll go for the score. Panthers up now by 14. Seahawks with the ball at the 33. Murray's going to cruise off the right side, and he'll go in for the score. Seahawks down by 7. So that's all for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll get you back out to the field now for some more playoff action.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. A run, it's Murray. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimum gain.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. The big fella. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Now they'll run. Murray. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They're going to run it with Murray. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Latavius Murray stopped up short, and the Panthers defense able to deliver the goal line stand. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Again, we'll see the pistol here.
What is that?
They start on the ground with Forte. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the defensive penetration there blew that play up. and got them 2 points.
How about how they got off at the snap of the football, got upfield into the backfield, and created the big play? That's the key to everything.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Now it's Lockett. And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get. That type of a game. Oftentimes, it's not a very successful play.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
4 down, 4 down. Gotta go, in and out.
They run again with Murray. He's seen a ton of action tonight. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Wilson, Baldwin with it over the middle. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Wilson on the keeper. Give him 2 yards on that play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And a solid run down inside the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, Makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On second down, here's Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. On first down, Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
One quarter remains in this NFC Wildcard matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. A 20th carry coming up now for Murray. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. To throw is Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So they're on the 5-yard line here, 2nd down and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks a 2-point conversion away from tying the game. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes?
And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get away. And this remains a 2-point game. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Newton to throw. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. They fake the give. Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. A big play that time. Newton to Benjamin. And even 40 yards. Forte, the lone running back. He'll get the football here. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Newton. He's got time in the pocket. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 3rd down.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
We've got a 3rd and 11. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. He's got time. All kinds of time. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They go with Murray again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now it's Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They stay on the ground. Forte again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And some space here. Look at this spin.
Balance.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run with Forte. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it up to Forte. And he'll take this. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Here's Forte. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
3 yards remaining here on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this will be caught at the 30. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 45 yards. They'll come up with split backs in the backfield. Pitch it out to Murray. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. He'll look to throw. And he's got Lockett. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it.
Watch left. He's down right there.
Murray, the lone setback. He's back to throw. And left side here, it's Graham. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. And under 20 seconds now as the spike comes with 18 ticks remaining. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On 3rd and goal, Procise. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
I think what we just saw in that drive, partner, is great practice, preparation, and poise. Not only did they score with little time left for them to retaliate, they chewed up enough time along the way while still getting the yardage they needed. That was an impressive drive.
Very methodical. Now, barring something crazy on the kickoff, they've got this one. Time to ground it out now with Murray. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up their lead to 3. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Now to send this one away following the score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.